Kung Fu Panda 4 was bad. But it wasn't as bad as you think. Now, I don't want to do any intro or any other things. I just want to get straight to it. So, what do I mean by it's not as bad as you think? Well, to summarise it and put it bluntly, I think all the puzzle pieces for this movie to be successful were there and were in the actual movie. It's just, if you want to put an elaborate metaphor on it, some of the puzzle pieces could have been more colourful or more detailed than others. Now, this video is basically a review, but it's also a critique on this film, because when watching it, I actually didn't think it was that bad. I just think certain things they really could have improved on. And I think just as a base, I think a problem with this movie is it wasn't long enough. And I mean that quite literally, because Kung Fu Panda 4 is 94 minutes long, which, whilst watching it, I didn't even feel that, to be honest. I thought it felt like an hour and 10 minute movie, but it's an hour and 30 minutes. But I genuinely think that it suffers from not expanding out the characters enough. And I think it's not a case of cutting things down. I think it's more a case of expanding things up. And to do that, I think they could have added another 20 minutes onto this movie. And to be honest, I'm referencing basically just Zhen and the chameleon. And I think if you made that just one change, I think this movie actually goes up by quite a few points in people's minds. Because in that time, I think you can solve a lot of the problems that people have with this film, and most of them come from the characters. Now, don't get me wrong, there were some quite heinous decisions made for this film. No Furious 5? I mean, just with that decision alone, you just Kobe that shit into the bin. You ruined my boy Tai Lung? And people argue on this, right? Kung Fu Panda has basically set a standard for the levels for animated villains, right? Tai Lung, Shen, and Kai. Shen, most likely the best of the three, and then Tai Lung, and then probably Kai. But these three villains, you cannot fault any of them, really. And the only other defense that people say is, oh, Tai Lung's had that long in the spirit realm that he's kind of just accepted Poe as the Dragon Warrior and has taken that time to, like, reflect and shit. No. Nope. Don't accept it. Will not accept it. Doesn't exist. You need to at least show this man doing some of that reflecting in order for me to believe it. I will not just have it happen. That's not how this works. Give me more character. Not forgetting the fact that this dude is literally the OG villain. Literally the one that started the entirety of the Kung Fu Panda franchise. And he just accepts it like that, does he? Bog off. And when you compare those three incredible villains to this fourth one, the chameleon is so shallow as a villain. Barely any backstory. All you're getting is she was bullied because of her size, and now she hates the world. Not really even showing anything. There's nothing really to it. And I don't even really think there's been that much thought put into the character of the chameleon, to the point where on almost everything you read, I don't even know if she has a name. She's just known as the chameleon. You have Ian McShane as Tai Lung, you have Gary Oldman as Shen, and you have J.K. Simmons as Kai. And then you knock it out of the park by getting Viola Davis, possibly, most likely, the greatest female actor ever, of all time, the GOAT, and you give those three dudes incredible villains, and you fumble it with Viola Davis? What the fuck are you doing? How can you do that to my girl? Now, overall, I think the chameleon has really cool abilities, but first of all, Kai just shouldn't exist anywhere in this situation. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone knows that in any situation ever, when someone dies and they've established that there's a spirit world, a spirit realm, an afterlife, if anyone that is in that spirit realm, who is now just a spirit, there's no body, it doesn't matter if you're transported there, because Tai Lung became a spirit when he was in the spirit realm, yeah, and they've established that everyone that's died, previous masters, Oogway, all go to the spirit realm. If you're in the spirit realm, Use is just a spirit. Use is dead. Alright? If you are destroyed inside of the spirit realm, you is done. You're gone. There's nothing of you. Body and spirit, gone. I don't care if you think you can regenerate your spirit after your spirit has been yoinked from existence. That's not how this works. Kai should be just completely eviscerated from existence. In the end of that last movie, just dead. Kai should be dead. Poe literally overwhelmed him with chi and he blew up. There is no defending the fact that his spirit came back. And even with my boy Shen, even though Gary Oldman wasn't in it, had no lines, they even do cuts to him reacting to things and he's there bowing down to Poe at the end of it. No, I'm sorry, there's no amount of meditation Shen's doing to make himself forgive or like Poe in any way possible. You literally established that this character is basically pure evil. Bro was just born looking for the Fade, and that's just what it is. And one of the main things is that the Chameleon is just not at all a worthy opponent for Poe, ever, at all. Because in this universe, Oogway's basically established as the Yoda in the universe. Like, he is the top dog, and then Kai's basically the Palpatine. He's the only other dude. And you can argue about the power levels of stuff, but Kai and Oogway, you kind of assume they're about the same. Oogway's base form, Oogway's probably stronger, but Kai's spirit world with all the chi maybe is a little bit. But Oogway did let him win that last fight, so he could then fight Poe. And I guess Poe is Anakin in this situation if he never became Vader and then went on to become more powerful than both Yoda and Palpatine, and then went on to beat Palpatine. So other than Oogway, there's literally no one stronger than Kai other than Poe. So the Chameleon's shit all, really. Taking out the fact that I completely disregard that the Chameleon takes out Kai because he shouldn't exist by this point. I'm in no way threatened by the Chameleon for Poe at any point in the movie because I already know he's the god at this point. He's that strong. It doesn't matter how many people's chi or kung fu that she ends up taking, she is not becoming more powerful than Poe at this point. And when they literally prove that by him just walking out of the cage and also just one-shotting her at the end, simply because he wanted Jen to fulfill that role that she was supposed to have and like fulfill her destiny and all that to become like the pupil to the Dragon Warrior or the next Dragon Warrior. That sort of storyline's a little nichey, little on the nose. Could be deeper, especially for a Kung Fu Panda film. Like, we're talking serious stuff here, guys. And apart from all those critiques, but most of them derive simply from the Chameleon and the way they portrayed her character and what she actually does. I think those kind of the main reasons this film didn't work that well. I thought Jen was great. I thought the other characters, I can't remember his name. Let me get it. Kei Hugh Guan, because the dude's just the goat. I don't even know if I said his name right. I apologise. And like I said before, I think they had all the puzzle pieces and a lot of them were in the correct position. It's just some of them could have been better. Also a little disappointed that when Jack Black announced that he's going to have a new song for this movie, he only did a cover of Britney Spears. I mean, it was an absolutely fabulous cover, and this press run was maybe the greatest press run of all time. I mean, for those like 2 weeks before the movie came out, Jack Black was just everywhere. TikTok just was infested with this song and this dude. And then the movie came out, and then crickets. I also think that the themes for this movie were also in the correct place. Like having that next generation come along. So you've gone through each of the three movies. Like each of them represents like the mind, the body, and like different parts. And then this one representing what comes after, like your legacy, I guess. And then moving on and him becoming the next stage, being the master, and then having the student. I think that's all very cool thematically and very correct. But it's basically just all the other elements that they ended up fumbling. And I'm just going to give a quick rating here. I gave this movie like a 4.5. So, yeah, let me know what you thought. Let me know your thoughts, feelings towards this film. Let me know if you think any of my thoughts are wrong. And, yeah, thanks for watching, and bye.